Good morning, students. Now, our next topic is why power sharing is desirable. We studied in Belgium, in case of Belgium and Sri Lanka, how Belgium share their powers among central, state, and linguistic basis. So, there are the two main points through which we can show why power sharing is useful or desirable. Firstly, power sharing is good because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. If the powers are shared among social groups equally or on some basis, then there is the less possibility of conflict between these groups. Since social conflict often leads to violence, yes, all we know, it creates violence and political instability. Power sharing is a good way to ensure the stability of political order in the country. Imposing the will of majority community over others may look like an attractive option, but in the long run it undermines the unity of nation. Correct? Now secondly, tyranny of the majority is not just allowing oppressive for the minority. If the ruling party is majority, so minority people don't feel it good, because they are not getting any equal rights for education, jobs, and other fields. So there is a second reason also why power sharing is good for democracies. Secondly, power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. Yes, in our country also we see there are three levels of power sharing groups: central, state, and municipal. So power sharing is very spirit of democracy. A democratic rule involves sharing power with those affected by its exercise and who have to live with its effects. Means for the population, for the people of the country, people have a right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. In democracy, as you all know, peoples are representative. What are the representatives? They all are elected by the people. A legitimate government is one where citizens through participation acquire a stake in the system. In this system, the citizens also can participate, acquire a stake in the system. They also acquire a position in the system. The first set of reasons, prudential, and the second, moral. The first reason was prudential, means showing care, and second, moral. While prudential reasons stress that power sharing will bring out better outcomes, moral reasons emphasizes the very act of the power sharing as valuable. The power sharing is valuable for the country. Now, forms of power sharing. The idea of power sharing has emerged in opposition to the nations of undivided political powers. For a long time, it was believed that all power of a government must reside in one person or group of persons located at one place. Means powers are given only to central government in some cases. But it was felt that if the power to decide is dispersed, it would not be possible to take quick action decisions and to enforce them. Because it was felt that if powers are given to state and other governments, then taking quick decisions is not possible in that condition. But these notions have changed with the emergence of democracy. But with the emergence of democracy, all these ideas, all these notions have been changed. One basic principle of democracy is that people are the source of all political parties. In democracy, what is there? The main basic principle of democracy is that the people are the source of all political powers. In a democracy, people rule themselves through institutions of self-government. Due respect is given to diverse groups and views that exist in a society. Everyone has a voice in the shaping of public policies. Every citizen has the right to vote in democratic countries. Only through people, representatives, or government authorities are elected. through the people, by the people, you all know. Therefore, it follows that in a democracy, political power should be distributed among as many citizens as possible. In modern democracies, power sharing arrangements can take many forms. Now, what are these forms? We study here. First point, power is shared among different organs of government, such as the legislature, executive, and judiciary. These are the main organs of the government. This type of power sharing is called horizontal distribution. In this type of horizontal distribution of powers, it allows different organs of government placed at the same level to exercise different powers. Legislature, executive, and judiciary, all three have their own powers to exercise or to rule over the country, to make decisions for the country. Such a separation ensures that none of the organ can exercise unlimited powers. They have limited powers. Legislature have limited powers. Executive also have limited powers. And judiciary, judges have also their limited powers. Each organ checks the others, and each organ checks the working of the other. This results in a balance of power among various institutions. Even though ministers and government, that in a democracy, even though ministers and government officials exercise power, they are responsible to the parliament or state assemblies. Similarly, judges are appointed by the executive. They can check the functioning of executive or laws made by the legislature. Judiciary has the power to check over the executive and laws made by the legislatures. This arrangement is called a system of checks and balances. This system is also called system of checks and balances. And one more term is there, horizontal distribution of power sharing. Now, next is power can be shared among government at different levels. This is known as vertical. A general government for the entire country, and governments at the provincial or regional levels. A general government for the entire country means central government, and governments at the provincial or regional levels means state government. Such a general government for the entire country is usually called federal government. It also termed as federal government. In India, we refer to it as the central or union government. The government at the provincial or regional levels are called by different names in different countries. In India, we call them state government. I already told you the government at provincial or regional levels are called as state governments. This system is not followed in all countries, but in India, we are following this type of power sharing. There are many countries where there are no provincial or state governments. Only state government is ruling there. But in those countries like ours, where there are different levels of government, the constitution clearly lays down the powers of different levels of government. The powers of a state government, central government, and municipal government are already given by the constitution. This is what they did in Belgium. In Belgium also, they make 3-level government at the central level, then state level, then on the linguistic basis. They make third government on linguistic basis. The same principle can be extended to levels of government lower than the state government, such as the municipality and panchayats. Why municipality and panchayats are required? Because in one state there are so many cities. So checking all the development plans and all the working of every city is not possible for a single state government. So they appoint municipality and panchayats. Panchayats at village level and municipality at cities, at urban areas. Let us call division of powers involving higher and lower levels of government vertical division of power. This type of power sharing is known as vertical division of powers. Then third is, power may also be shared among different social groups such as the religious and linguistic groups. Community government in Belgium is a good example of this arrangement. In some countries, there are constitutional and legal arrangements whereby socially weaker sections and women are represented in the legislature and administration. In our country also, women have given the power to represent in the legislature and administration. Their seats are reserved. Seats are reserved in election for women. This type of arrangement is meant to give space in the government and administration to diverse social groups who otherwise would feel alienated from the government. Not only women, some social groups also have given the place or have given the seats in government. This method is used to give minority communities a fair share in power. This will result in giving minority communities a fair share in power. Now, fourth is power sharing arrangements can also be seen in the way political parties, pressure groups, and movements control or influence those in power. Those people who are in power, they can create pressure groups also. In a democracy, the citizens must have freedom to choose among various contenders for power. In contemporary democracies, this takes the form of competition among different parties. Due to this, there is a competition among different political parties. Such competition ensures that power does not remain in one hand. The power is changing through elections. In a long run, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies and social groups. Sometimes this kind of sharing can be direct when two or more parties form an alliance to contest election. If their alliance is elected, they form a coalition government. If the two parties got similar seats and votes, then the form of government is known as coalition government, and thus share powers, and thus both the parties share their powers. Read carefully this chapter and underline the main topics and headings, whatever you find out important, and prepare this for your exams.